As we leave the stone walls of Chitradurga Fort behind, the landscape begins to transform. The smooth highway gives way to arterial roads of the Bellary district, and you immediately notice the change in color. This is the heart of Karnataka's iron ore belt. Everything here is touched by red. The dust, rich in hematite, which is iron ore, coats the trees, the houses, and the very road beneath us. It's a literal rust belt, where the earth itself feels alive with mineral wealth, painting every frame of this drive in a crimson hue. But amidst the industry, life moves on at its own pace. You'll find local folk going about their day unfazed by the red haze, and of course, the ever-present cows claiming their rightful place in the middle of the road. Finally, we pull into the Vijayanagara township. It's a sudden green oasis in the sea of red. Our base for the Hampi exploration is the Hyatt place, a welcome bit of calm and comfort before we dive deep into the ruins of the Vijayanagara Empire. The hotel offers a perfect sanctuary to recharge. Whether you're finding zen at the spa after a long day of trekking or exploring the fascinating Kannada Museum right next door, where Hampi's history is brought to life through stunning 3D exhibits. Day 2 began with the drive across the river to the Anegundi side, often called Hippie Island for its laid-back atmosphere. The scenery here shifts from the industrial red dust of the mine country to lush, vibrant green paddy fields tucked between towering granite boulders. It's a landscape that feels almost prehistoric, but keep in mind, Hampi is a vast, open landscape, and the heat bearing down on you can be exhausting even early in the day. Our destination was Anjanadri Hill, believed to be the birthplace of Lord Hanuman. Since this is an active temple, a quick tip for travelers: footwear is not permitted. I highly recommend packing a pair of socks in your bag if you want to avoid walking barefoot on the granite rocks, which can get incredibly hot under the midday sun. Then the climb begins. There are 575 steps carved right into the rock, and they're a real test of endurance. Along the climb, you're joined by the mountain's most confident residents, the monkeys, who behave like they own the place. But every time you stop to catch your breath, the views of the Tungabhadra River winding through the valley keeps you moving forward. At the summit, the reward is a panoramic view that truly helps you grasp the scale of Hampi. From this height, the ruins of the Vijayanagara Empire look like a scattered puzzle in a sea of green. Amidst the pilgrims' chants, we focused on the silence of the valley below and the historical weight of standing on a peak that has watched over this empire for centuries, a perspective that makes every step of the climb worth it. While the world flocks to the main Hampi ruins, many miss Anegundi village, just across the river. Anegundi predates the Vijayanagara Empire and served as its first capital. To many, this is the legendary kingdom of Kishkinda. The pace here is slower, and the landscape is dominated by lush paddy fields and the same massive boulders that seem to balance precariously over every home. One of the most serene stops on this side of the river is the Chintamani Temple complex. Built right into the natural rock formations, it's a site where history and mythology are literally etched into the stone. It is believed that this is the spot where Lord Rama first met Hanuman. Whether you follow the lore or not, the architectural ingenuity of these riverside structures is undeniable. Exploring Anegundi feels like a scavenger hunt. You'll find yourself ducking into low caves and winding through narrow passages where ancient paintings and carvings of Rama, Sita, and Hanuman appear in the shadows. We spent time wandering through the 64-pillar mandapa and watching the river flow from the quiet vantage points along the banks. What makes Anegundi special is that it remains a living village. You'll pass local artisans, children playing in the ruins, and even a coconut tree restaurant or two tucked away in the boulders. It's a grounded, realistic look at life in a heritage zone that adds a layer of depth to the entire Hampi experience. After a long morning exploring the ruins of Hampi, we were ready for a break. So we stopped for lunch at Mango Tree Restaurant in nearby Kamlapur, a relaxed cafe popular with travelers making their way through the region. The food is simple and satisfying, with plenty of South Indian favorites and fresh juices to cool down in the midday heat. And for anyone on a long road trip, it offers one more very welcome bonus: clean washrooms. The road to Hampi is paved with history and framed by a surreal landscape of giant, precariously balanced boulders. In the heart of the Vijayanagara Empire's ruins lies its most exquisite masterpiece, the 16th century Vittala Temple complex. Dedicated to Lord Vishnu, this isn't just a place of worship, it's a symphony in stone. To protect this UNESCO World Heritage Site, visitors are ferried to the main entrance by electric carts. As you approach, the scale of the Vijayanagara architecture begins to unfold. You pass through the ancient marketplaces where merchants once traded horses and gems, leading you to the towering Gopurams that have stood watch for over 500 years. Stepping into the main courtyard, you're greeted by a sprawling assembly of intricately carved pillars and mandapas. Every surface here tells a story. Look closely at the base of the structures. You'll find relief carvings of dancers, musicians, and even international traders, showcasing the cosmopolitan nature of Hampi at its peak. To my eyes, one looked like an Asian trader, while another looked like a cowboy. In the center of the courtyard stands the iconic Stone Chariot, perhaps the most photographed structure in Hampi. Though it looks like a single piece of rock, it's actually built from multiple granite blocks with joints cleverly hidden by carvings. Interestingly, the wheels once were functional and could be rotated. It remains a symbol of the empire's artistic and technical prowess. But the temple's most famous secret lies within the Mahamandapa. These are the legendary musical pillars. Each of the 56 main pillars is surrounded by smaller, slender shafts. When tapped gently, they produce distinct musical notes. It is an incredible feat of ancient engineering. The stone itself was chosen and carved to resonate with the sounds of the 7 notes of Indian classical music. As the sun sets over the boulders, casting long shadows across the granite floors, it's easy to see why the Vittala Temple remains a site of pilgrimage for both the faithful and the curious. It's a place where history, art, and music converge into one timeless experience. A visit here isn't just a tour, it's a journey back to the golden age of one of India's greatest empires. While much of Hampi stands in silent tribute to a bygone empire, the Virupaksha Temple is a vibrant exception. Located at the end of the Hampi Bazaar, this temple has remained an active place of worship since the 7th century, making it one of the oldest functioning temples in India. As you walk through the surrounding village, you see a unique blend of daily life and ancient stone. The first thing that strikes you is the massive eastern Gopuram. Rising 160 feet into the sky, this 9-story tower is a masterclass in Dravidian architecture. It acts as a spiritual beacon visible from miles away amidst the boulder-strewn landscape. As you pass beneath it, the transition from the bustling market to the sacred courtyard feels like stepping through a portal in time. Just a quick note, this is another one of those temples where footwear is not permitted. Inside the temple complex is a labyrinth of pillared halls and smaller shrines. The Ranga Mandapa, added by King Krishnadevaraya in 1510, is particularly stunning. Its pillars are carved with mythical creatures and deities, while the ceiling is adorned with 500-year-old murals depicting scenes from ancient Hindu epics such as Ramayana and Mahabharata. Their colors still remarkably vivid despite the passage of centuries. Behind the main sanctum lies one of Hampi's most charming mathematical secrets. In a small, dark chamber, a slit in the wall acts as a natural pinhole camera. While the sun is high, an inverted shadow of the main Gopuram is projected perfectly onto the wall. It's a testament to the advanced optical knowledge possessed by the temple's ancient builders. Unfortunately, the low light inside the temple prevented us from capturing the inverted shadow of the Gopuram effectively. Just outside the main structure, the Manmatha tank or Pushkarni serves as the temple's sacred reservoir. Surrounded by smaller shrines and steps carved into the bedrock, it's a place for rituals and reflection. In the morning light, the reflection of the surrounding ruins in the green water creates a sense of profound peace, reminding us of the spiritual core that sustained the Vijayanagara kings. To feel the true rhythm of Hampi, head to the banks of the Tungabhadra River, where round coracles have floated since the Vijayanagara Empire. Stepping in, you sit low on the water, dwarfed by massive ancient boulders that rise like silent sentinels. Gliding downstream, the ruins of Hampi unfold, a panorama of half-submerged shrines, old stone steps, and remnants of bridges. The boatman guides you through narrow gaps, even small river caves, while the kingfishers dart overhead. Then comes the thrill, the Hampi spin, a 360-degree swirl that shows just how nimble these ancient boats are. Back on shore, a fresh coconut water in hand, you realize this ride isn't just a journey across the river. It's a connection to the spirit of Hampi itself. Time for a quick lunch at Clark's Inn, a popular, centrally located spot for travelers in Hampi. The food hits the spot, though the restrooms could use a little TLC. Welcome to the Royal Enclosure, the seat of power of the mighty Vijayanagara Empire. As we walk through these massive granite walls, you can feel the scale of the fortification that once protected the kings and the queens of this golden era. Rising before us is the Mahanavami Dibba. This tiered stone platform was a stage for grand festivals, military processions, and royal celebrations. From here, kings would survey the vast kingdom. Looking out from the top, the panoramic view reveals a sprawling city of stone. These ruins are all that remain of a metropolis that once rivaled Rome in its beauty and wealth. Check out the intricate craftsmanship on the walls. These tell stories of daily life, elephants, horses, and soldiers frozen in stone, showcasing the artistic brilliance of the 14th century. One of the most breathtaking sights here is the step tank or Pushkarani. Built from black rock, its geometric precision is mesmerizing. It wasn't just for ritual bathing, it was a masterpiece of water engineering. A short walk away, we find the Zenana Enclosure. This was a private, secluded area reserved for the royal women, guarded by high walls and watchtowers that still stand tall against the blue Hampi sky. Nearby, we explore the remnants of the Queen's Palace. While only the ornate basement survives today, the sheer size suggests the luxury that once defined these halls. This is the Lotus Mahal. It's a stunning example of Indo-Islamic architecture, named for its lotus-like domes. Remarkably, it remained largely intact despite the city's fall, serving as a cooling pavilion for the royal family. Finally, we see the guards' quarters and elephant stables. These 11 dome chambers house the royal elephants, symbolizing the strength and grandeur of the empire. The Royal Enclosure is a hauntingly beautiful reminder of Hampi's glorious past, a place where every stone has a story to tell. Our last stop in Hampi takes us to a hidden gem, the underground Shiva Temple. Built in the 14th century, this subterranean sanctuary lies literally below the surface of history. Descending the stone steps, the air cools and a sacred silence takes over. The inner sanctum is partially submerged, fed by an ancient underground stream that keeps the space gently bathed in water. Believed to be a private place of worship for Vijayanagara royals, walking through the flooded rows of granite pillars feels like stepping into a forgotten world. Sunlight filters through the ceiling, casting dramatic shadows on the water, a quiet, powerful finale to our journey through Hampi. As the van pulls away and the dusty roads of Hampi fade into the distance, you realize that this place isn't just about the ruins you leave behind. It's the energy of the people, the chaotic charm of the local roads, and the way ancient traditions meet modern life that makes Hampi so unforgettable. The empire may have fallen, but its spirit is very much alive. Thanks for coming along on this journey. Please don't forget to subscribe. And bye for now.